What am I doing wrong?
It's that you didn't log in as marketing at whatever, whatever, which is why there's no code. So Flossie just messaged me. I think she's gonna jump on. It's okay. We've got like a minute before we move. Did you log in as yourself or did you log in as the
Should be
market?
marketing.
Okay. Um, it says we're live. So let me just go check and see if we are live. We may just skip the video today. So hi everybody. I'm just gonna roll with it because it says that we are live. So if we are live and Katie verifies, just give me a thumbs up. No big deal. So on the fly and per normal, welcome to Organized Chaos. This is Empower Hour with Lindsay Helm. I'm the founder and CEO. And here at Empower Employee, we use Empower Hour to highlight employers and individuals and game changers in the space that are helping improve education, technology, and work opportunities for the military community. So today I'm really excited. We have had Intuit be with us a couple of times, but now we've got new people, and I always like meeting new people. So I'm going to take a minute just to list a couple of our guests and a little bit about them, but also let them talk about them because no one else can tell your story better than you, even though I try to get people to tell my story so I don't have to talk all the time. So today I am joined by, and I have my notes over here, so let me just pull them over here so I don't mess this up. So I have Mary with us today. Mary and family are out, where at one point we're in San Diego, and I guess our is a military spouse. And then I have Rachel, who is a Navy veteran, and James, who is a former Army officer, all of which have transferred and transitioned across the United States many times for their new military community. So I'm going to actually bring them to the stage and let them do their intro rather than talk about them like they're not here today. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Intuit team to Empower Hour. Hello, hello, hello. How are all of you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited to have each of you. So let's just go ahead and kick this thing off. And I know I said I was going to do it, but let's start with Mary, and we'll just kind of go round robin and have you share your story about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined the Intuit family when we were stationed in San Diego back in December 2017. I started off as a TurboTax expert working remotely. And, my husband has been in the Navy for over 23 years now. He's a Navy commander in the surface warfare community. And since I started with Intuit, we have actually served, our family has served on three different Navy warships, one in San Diego, one in Portland, Oregon, another one in Seattle, Washington, and now we're stationed here in Alexandria, Virginia. And I have been employed with Intuit as a seasonal employee, and I just find that this experience, the opportunities at Intuit are unlike anything else because I have been able to live in all those places and we've been able to do all those things and while maintaining employment.
Well, that is amazing. And so I totally understand kind of moving around the United States. And I spent a little bit of time with Intuit myself as a contractor and a program manager. So totally loved my time there. It was great. I'm going to make an adjustment to my screen because my head is cut off. But Rachel, while I do that, could you please share your story a little bit and tell the world about who you are?
Sure, I would love to. So I'm Rachel Mcnary. I started in 2020, but originally military, married to another military member, aviator. He was an aviator, I was a supply officer. Right at the time when I was getting out, I went into the reserves and wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with my life. So accounting ended up being the career, and the GI Bill paid for it. And Intuit popped up as, the first job, and it was fabulous because it has grown with me, with my needs, and it's been really, really a great opportunity because now we're both out. He's disabled veteran now, and he just transitioned from USAA to a private contractor, and I was able to, have my insurance from Intuit, and it really just did great things for us. So I love this company. If you have any questions, I'm happy to share my love for, my employer with you.
Awesome. And then James, you're the last but not least to share your story. To go from artillery officer to where you are today, that's quite a pivot. Like, good, bravo, slow claps, good work. But would you mind sharing kind of how that happened? That's really different and amazing.
Well, I mean, it's been a long travel. First, let me say that I come from a military family. My dad was over 20 years in the military, United States Army, 2 tours of Vietnam. So I was used to moving around often. But yes, I went through the ROTC. I'm originally from Virginia. Um, I got into the United States Army, field artillery. I did my commitment. I was on an ROTC scholarship, so I was in for. I had a 6-year commitment, combination of regular Army, active duty, and reserves. I got out and I spent from there 30 years in the private sector, primarily in print operations. I've also worked as a project manager and as a uh, uh, worked for an international nonprofit managing a global education exchange program. So I used to take kids to South America. So that's my background. Uh, Due to family issues, I ended up in a situation where I needed to take care of some family members. My father got sick, and so I needed an opportunity to where I could work anywhere. So this was an opportunity that came available. So I'm able to take this, work remote, and I can go and help take care of family members while I do this.
Sorry, mid coffee sip. I got to take care of myself and family members by being caffeinated today. Well, thank you again for doing all this. So let's talk about what brings Intuit on to Empower Hour. So, Mary, would you mind sharing with the world, why, what's happening in the world of Intuit that we want to broadcast and tell the world about today?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we in the TurboTax Live space have expanded our products for this tax season. One thing we're doing a little differently this season is we're offering a full service sync. Product where folks can come and have their tax return prepared with a virtual tax expert from start to end, and have that completed all in one experience. We have modified our tools and modified our systems to deliver what we hope would be hundreds and thousands of returns throughout this short tax season from with a deadline April. And so we offer that. And then we also offer, in addition, Do It With Me tax preparation. So you would have an expert with you every step of the way while you file that return, and then also we offer our Do It Yourself product lineup. So the wonderful products been offering for the last 20 years are still available, in addition to our new improvements.
Well, that's amazing. I know as a business owner, I'm definitely dreading tax season a little bit, and it would be great. I have someone doing our taxes, but for next year, it would be awesome to get on a call and sit with them and watch them like click through.
Yeah.
So
we still need experts for all of that, and we're still hiring. So it's a very exciting time.
Gotcha. Well, James, would you mind, as the resident, kind of recruiter, to give us some insight on what Intuit is looking for in a candidate?
Okay, we're looking for individuals, and I'm primarily a seasonal tax preparer recruiter, and we look for individuals. The requirements are you have to have 3 years or 3 tax seasons of paid tax prep experience. And that experience, when we say paid, has to be either in a CPA firm or a retail tax environment. And there's some things that we have in place that can help if you don't have all 3 years that we can do, and we can talk about that later. And you have to have a P10, preparer's tax identification number, and you have to prepare at least 30 returns per tax season. So that's the basic requirements. And from there, that we get started, then we go through the process to see if we can vet you and take you to the next level.
Well, James, since you mentioned that, and maybe you and Rachel can tag team this a little bit. So, what's the difference between a seasonal agent and a select time employee?
I'll let you go ahead and take that, Rachel.
Okay, sure. So seasonal employees are people that, just like it sounds, just come in for the season. So they start work sometimes even before the season starts. So some employees can start in the fall before the season begins, and they just work through. Sometimes they'll extend the season. So some people will leave in June, some in August, some even later, depending on the need. And it's up to you. I mean, that's the great part about working for Intuit is they work with you. I started as a seasonal employee, and right at the end of my first season, they asked if I could stay on. They offered that position the select time role, which was great because it is exactly what it sounds like, select time. I get to pick my hours, but I am considered a year-round employee. I'm not like full-time, which is great because I've got kids and lots of different things going on. And it was great for me. I love it. I definitely am one of those people that kind of works the minimum just because right now the needs are in my house. I can't. But once the kids get bigger, then I can't wait to, put more hours. I love helping the clients we get to talk to and help, prepare and file their taxes. And basically, there's just a little bit of everything for anybody, which is great. The company is very good at meeting needs, including not only clients and customers, but the employees. They keep everybody happy, or they try to.
That's fair. I found that Intuit is a really great team and a really great place to work. So I'll definitely back that 110%. Not that you need my endorsement, but I'm just saying I had a good time. It was a great experience. Okay. So whoever feels most comfortable answering the next question is fine. So what benefits, I mean, we talked about flexible schedule a little bit and the ability to do that, but what benefits are available and what training is available and that, for potential employees?
I'll go first if no no one's jumping for it. One thing that I took advantage of after I first started is Intuit offers a pro development program. So for those who are interested in expanding on their tax knowledge or are interested in maybe becoming a professional tax preparer year round and interested in an enrolled agent credential, Intuit has a program that you can enroll in. It's totally optional, but they provide training materials, testing materials. They pay for the tests to sit for the IRS to earn that credential, and then there's a little bonus at the end if you're able to achieve that. So that's called an enrolled agent credential that somebody who is employed with Intuit can be eligible for. And then they also offer year-round continuing education programs in tax. So for those who are really interested in expanding their tax knowledge, you could take advantage of those, and those are totally free, offered year-round. There's also Intuit Academy, which is free. You can sign up and take the tutorials and learn more for personal development if you just like to understand a little bit more. And so that's all totally available to anybody who works at Intuit.
That's amazing. That's a lot of development, and it's always good, I think, regardless of your industry, to continue to take courses and go to conferences and interact with your peers to stay in a constant state of learning and kind of being up to date with the latest and greatest. So for each of you, you all have a military affiliation. Would you mind taking, I don't know, 15 to 30 seconds to share a piece of advice for military spouses and veterans struggling in their job search?
Sure. Can I just add on the benefit thing? Okay. Because Mary did a fabulous job. I mean, that Pro Dev program is incredible. I mean, that's worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Because I did it before I joined, and it was a lot of money getting the prep material, the program, and then paying for each exam because it's 3 exams. But for me, the employee stock that you can purchase. I'm pretty sure seasonal people, right, Mary? You can jump in on that too, right?
There's some requirements with that, but definitely for select time, it's
Okay.
a benefit.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just amazing. So that in itself has been incredible. When you're a select time, or say you do a fabulous job, like Mary is amazing and chooses to say seasonal. I know she's probably been pinged to not be seasonal, but if you do a great job, they're always looking for opportunities for you to stay with us. They want good people and they will work to keep you. So if you get into those full-time roles, I mean, the sky's the limit. They give me so much that I'm just like, I can't believe they pay me on top of all of that. All
That
right,
was nice.
sorry. So the
No, it's
insurance is great, all of that. So basically, there's nothing, I don't know, in my opinion, it's nothing better. And the question was already forgot. I'm so sorry, Lindsay.
just a piece of advice for veterans and military spouses struggling in their job search. And that can be kind of, as it pertains to Intuit or just in general throughout your individual experiences, something that's really helped you kind of in your path.
Yeah, don't settle. 100% don't settle. So if you are not happy with what you're doing, it may take you a year or two to do it. Listen to what James advice he has for maybe you don't have all of the experience. I happened to come in when yes, you needed a year. I didn't quite have a year, but I had enough that based on the interview they hired me. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like if you are good and you know you're good, talk to them, see what they'll do. Because I know that they want great people and they're willing to work with you. Sorry, James. Maybe that's not true, but I know it's true.
It's like I've heard that's true from outside of the circle of the Intuit inner circle, but yeah, like
Yeah.
take it away,
So
Jim.
just just try. I mean, it's such a great job. And again, just don't settle and look for those opportunities. I mean, this is such a great field. I mean, tax preparation is fun. You get to help people. If you have a passion for, helping people out, that's definitely the field for you. I didn't think I could be an accountant. I thought it was going to be boring, but it is not. I love it. I love helping people. And it's every day is a different day and it's fun.
Yeah. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that, outside the basic requirements, Rachel mentioned she only had 1 year. Now, the basic requirements are 3 years preparing at least 30 returns in a paid environment. You go through and take the Intuit Academy and take the tax level 1, tax level 2 courses. It doesn't guarantee you the job, but what it does, it eliminates 2 of those 3-year requirements. And I can vet you and then move you to the next phase of to what we call the higher view management interview. Um, I would say, one requirement is you have to do this job, you have to be stateside. So even if you're abroad, continue to volunteer as much as you can to get that experience. Um, uh, Regardless of how old your experience is, it may be. I've had people that I've interviewed who they prepared taxes when we didn't have any software and they were doing it with a stubby pencil. But they had the 2 years of experience and they did a lot of it. We put them through the Intuit TurboTax Academy. They passed the tax level 1, and I felt comfortable moving them to the next phase. And eventually, they were offered a job. So, uh, as Rachel said, don't settle. Uh, when you put your resume together, especially if you're interviewing with us, I have a lot of people who tell me. I know you said 35 seconds, 15, 30 seconds. I apologize, Lindsay.
It's
But
good stuff.
even if you don't have the recent experience, you can get it by going through the academy. But when you put your resume together, regardless of how old it is, since you already have your foot in the door with us, put your tax related experience on that resume. It could just be a special resume that's just for Intuit, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And to add on that, just the times and that you've demonstrated being passionate about client issues, because that's really one of our values. We are obsessed with solving customer issues. I mean, just to the very end. And we have that every single day with every engagement. We give it 110%. So I would think that, James, that would be relevant on the resume,
Mhm.
ways that you've showed, demonstrated customer service to that level. Um, One advice I would give is, it's job searches can be difficult. when I expanded my job search to not just include what was geographically close to me, that's how I came on this opportunity. I never even considered a remote job because all my previous employers were all in an office, in a cubicle. We go to the office every single day. I had that mindset, from college. So please don't limit yourself to just what's geographically available to you. Look for those virtual opportunities. At Intuit, we have a lot. So we have big variety, but also other employers are doing the same thing now. It's amazing to work at home. It's to have your daily commute be 5 minutes as opposed to 45 minutes is incredible.
I feel like we could do a whole live on tips and tricks for surviving remote work. And I'm sometimes really bad at it, even with your commute being, 5 minutes, because you'll be like, oh, I'll just go in a minute. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, yeah, I should have been on that call. Whoops. That's so great advice. So in summary, what I heard as tips and tricks would be to never settle. Great advice. I wholeheartedly agree. And James said, customize your resume and make sure that all of your experience is there. And Mary said, think outside the box. That was like the way to look at it. And I feel the same way. My career started in tech for the military, and I ended up from tech all the way to like cybersecurity to like recruiting on the opposite side of the moon, owning my own business. So we went like complete like 360. I did not doing what I did 10 years ago. So just to continue to grow. And I think the last question in closing things out is, what's the best way to get in contact with each of you or to apply for these opportunities?
James is the important one.
Yeah. Well, you have the link.
Yes.
I think we're showing the link online. But if you can always reach out to me, and my email address, I'm not sure if we have it provided, but it's James_Purefoy. That's P as in Paul, UREFOY @intuit.com.
And should there be like a specific body or email that, that you want to see? Me personally, if you're reaching out to James and you saw it today, I would love for you to say, hey, we saw your amazing podcast with Empower Hour. We are reaching out. I'm reaching out. Here's my experience. This is what I'm looking for. Like, give James a summary. Don't just email him and be like, hey, man, what kind of jobs you got for me? Just go to the careers website and check it out. So that's what's available. And that's, again, a whole other situation. But I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today here at Empower Hour. Please join us again in a couple of weeks. We're bi-weekly. I believe we are going to, fingers crossed, be able to introduce to the world Caruso Holmes, who is doing amazing things. For those of you watching, if you want to learn more about Empower Employee, just reach out to me. We offer education and technology solutions for corporate America. Hope to see you all again in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much for joining.
This was fun. Thanks